Welcome back to Pop Goes the Kernel, where we dive into today's latest pop culture, music, television, movies, and more.
I'm Libby Heckert.
I'm Marissa Armstrong.
I'm Gabby Mercedes.
And I'm Lauren Smiley. Let's get popping.
So today's episode is going to include Oscar nominations, Grammy nominations, The Bachelor, and a lot more. So let's just get into it.
The opinions expressed on this podcast are the speaker's own and don't uphold the opinions expressed by the Kentucky Kernel.
Bachelor season is back, ladies. I'm so excited. Bachelor Nation member right here. I love everything that has to do with The Bachelor. So, the 29th season of The Bachelor premiered on Monday, January 27th, and it's starring the previous Bachelorette contestant, Grant Ellis. And this season, there are 25 girls that are all competing to hopefully be engaged to Grant at the end. There were definitely some interesting limo entrances of the night. For those of you who don't know, on the premiere episode, all the girls walk out of a limo or they have some other, random gag. One girl, Alex, brought a llama named Linda into the Bachelor Mansion as her entrance.
Oh my gosh, like the no drama llama.
That's exactly what she said. She walked into that Bachelor Mansion and she said, "No drama llama." And everyone was loving Linda, and I think Linda should compete on The Bachelor now.
She'd probably win.
I really liked Rose's entrance because you know how they say, will you accept this rose? She's like, will you accept this rose? And her name's literally Rose.
Oh,
so
that's good.
I was like, okay.
So good. Speaking of Rose, she's my front runner right now. I really like her. She's cute, she's nice, she's fun. She did a little pottery ghost moment where they had to blindfold each other and they made rings out of clay. It was cute. It was fun. I also love Chloe and Alicia. Those are my three favorites right now this season, but we'll see kind of how that changes throughout the season.
We'll have to stay tuned.
It's also awards season. It's award show season. Let's talk about some that are coming up, in particular, the Oscars. I'm a little hyped for it. I know we have some disappointed fans in the crowd.
I need to talk about this, guys. I don't know if you know this. I'm the biggest Challengers fan out there. It's my fourth favorite movie of all time. I love Challengers. Tell me why it didn't get a single nomination. Not a single one, not even Best Score, which it won at the Golden Globes. Not a single one. And I'm really upset about it because I just think that movie is so beautiful and so good.
I loved that. I didn't even see the whole thing and I already loved it. So for those of you who don't know, the Oscars is very movie-based. It's movie awards. So, of course, the Challengers not being in there absolutely killed Marissa at this point. But there are some movies in there that have been wildly talked about, especially on social media. I want to discuss the Wicked and Amelia Perez drama. I am a little mad that they kind of swept the Golden Globes. So I really want Cynthia and Ariana to take home performance by an actress in a leading role and performance by an actress in a supporting role because they're both up for it. They were both up for it at the Golden Globes as well, and they lost. But I think I have some hopes for the Oscars. I think they did really well. I think they portrayed their characters very well, and they can sing. Let's talk about that. They sang Defying Gravity live. Beautiful. And you're telling me that didn't win anything at the Golden Globes, so if they do not win something at the Oscars, I'm going to be heartbroken. Just saying.
I see the Oscars as a redemption round of the Golden Globes. So for your sake, I hope you get your way and it goes the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the Oscars, they're a bigger deal than the Golden Globes. I think the Golden Globes, the pre-round, like you said, this is more official. This is the Academy we're talking. So hopefully they'll pull through.
Absolutely. And the songs on there, I know that none of them are from Wicked, which it's fine. It's whatever. I'm a huge, musicals kind of girl. I love me some good songs, so hence why I love Wicked so much, because I will stick to it. It is life-changing, but there's also Best Animated Film. Now, I personally have not watched Inside Out 2. I don't know about any of you guys, but
I love that movie.
It's really good.
My sister went and saw it and said it was really 10 out of 10.
Really?
It's a great movie.
I was told that I should probably watch it. I was like, I don't know, because I really liked the first Inside Out, but Inside Out 2 is up for an Oscar, so Is there anybody that kind of like surprises us on this list?
Honestly, for going back to Inside Out, I think Inside Out 2 might be better than the first one.
Really?
I really connected with that movie. I hope it wins an award. I know The Wild Robot, I'm pretty sure, is predicted to win, which I didn't see.
Don't get me started about that movie, guys.
I never saw that one.
I never saw it. But every single time I went to see a movie over the summer, it was like in the previews, and something about it just like makes me mad. Like, I don't know if I just.
I agree. I agree.
And I didn't even think it was going to be good. And now it's nominated for all these awards. And I'm like, what the heck? And when I went and saw all these movies over the summer, I took the kids I babysit, and they're like, what is this Wild Robot movie? Like, what is, and now I'm seeing it on all these lists. I'm like, what?
No, it's been everywhere. I'm so tired of seeing it. I haven't even seen that movie. I don't really know that I want to, considering like what I've seen from it. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cute. Really not up my alley, but it's kind of cute, you know?
It's random. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just random. But Inside Out 2 was amazing. I feel like it really captured just keeping all audiences engaged with it, especially like with the new characters and everything like that. Everybody's just it's great. I've seen it multiple times since seeing it over the summer, so I highly suggest.
It's nice to kind of see like a growing on emotions. So, I mean, it has my pick. So,
Speaking of the Oscars, let's talk about Timothée Chalamet, who hosted and was the musical guest on SNL on January 25th in lieu of his Oscar promotional run for his role in A Complete Unknown. He performed Bob Dylan songs as his musical guest experience, and he's the 47th person to both host and be the musical guest on SNL. Do we have any thoughts about Timothy being the musical guest on this episode?
I didn't really know you could do both. I always thought you picked someone else to kind of take a break and give the spotlight to someone else, but I think that's awesome. I never really heard of him singing until this movie, so, and the Willy Wonka movie, but I think that's awesome. Good for him.
Other than his YouTube career as a rapper, he has the best digital footprint alive. It's so good. So people rave every time he hosts SNL. He always has some sketch that goes crazy. I believe this is his second or third time. And this episode was no different. Some of my highlight sketches were the bungee yoga instructor sketch he did. He had a long wig on, and he was just playing up his role being this, like, bungee instructor.
I loved it.
His new barista in training sketch was so good. He was a character named Benny, and he had a quote, "Big Benny say what?" And he's like an aspiring comic. It was so funny. He did a little dance break. I just love him. I hope he hosts more in the future.
Let me just talk about, like, yeah, you know, Timothée Chalamet was on there at Lin-Manuel Miranda, basically reviving his role as Alexander Hamilton. Again,
Yep.
Huge musical girl. So when I saw him peep out of the shadows as Alexander Hamilton, I was like, what? What in the world? He comes out, he has the little bow in the back of his head. I kid you not, I was fangirling. And this was Timothée Chalamet's like moment, but no. Like, especially after Lin-Manuel Miranda literally blew up for the Mufasa movie soundtrack, because as most people know, when a movie has really good songs, it is probably him who wrote them. So I love seeing him.
And can we talk about how Moana 2 is low-key flopping because he didn't write the soundtrack this time?
I was just gonna say that. I don't know. I didn't watch Moana 2, but I've seen the first one, so maybe that's why I resonate with the soundtrack a little bit more, but I was thinking the same thing.
I watched Moana over break, and I totally realized that he was singing one of the songs. I was like, wait. That's Alexander Hamilton. Wait.
Alexander Hamilton, what are you doing in Moana?
Exactly. I haven't watched the second one. I need to do that. But he's just awesome. And anything he is, it's just great. It's great. Moving on to my favorite part of this episode, UDA Nationals taking center stage per usual. As a fellow dancer, my Super Bowl, my favorite thing ever. This year's competition will definitely be one for the books. From powerhouse performances and new choreography, the competition was definitely on everyone's minds, and I think it still is. Whether you grew up a dancer or not, it's just so important, and we're going to dive into it. As much as I was excited for my little LSU Tiger Girls, I was kind of disappointed. I'm a huge Justin Timberlake fan, grew up on it, played in the car growing up, loved it. But I feel like their dance flopped a little bit with their umbrella performance, and it's just, I don't know, it didn't stick out as last year's did. And other controversies, Ohio State's jazz performance, I loved it.
I agree. I loved it.
I disagree.
I think it's the dancer.
I
in us
disagree,
that
too.
we get it.
I was just gonna give you guys credit because like you didn't dance, did you?
No,
Yeah,
I'm just a dance sister, so it.
Neither did I, so I didn't really get it. But maybe
I think as dancers, you can really appreciate the artistry in it, and I think that's the difference. Like me and my friends watched it together, and as a dancer, I'm like sitting there with my jaw on the floor. I'm like, this is amazing. Even though they messed up one turn sequence, I just like.
But they pulled it together in the end
yeah.
for finals, and it was so beautiful. I know there's always the debate of like Minnesota versus Ohio State. I think the dancer girlies are Ohio State girlies because they're more like dynamic within the dances.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Well, going off of that, this year Minnesota decided to do a very emotional contemporary dance for their jazz dance. And the jazz category, I feel like there's been a lot of controversy with it this year because the UDA said that it's an umbrella term. I mean, I talked to my dance friends from home and they're like, jazz is like in your face, you know, diva jazz, all of it. Why are we doing lyrical and contemporary dances? So it's an umbrella term, but I don't know. I love seeing all the different styles that everybody does and the different dynamics that everyone brings out. But I don't know. I feel like it's hard to judge a very emotional, dynamic dance compared to the Ohio State dance team who is like in your face doing this really dynamic dance. It's just really difficult, even though both of those teams are amazing. How are we feeling? I know both of their palm routines. Sorry, guys, my mouth is just not working today. Palm routines are, I mean, precise as usual. I can't fathom how amazing they are. And me personally, I think that Ohio State should have won the palm category.
I agree.
And Minnesota should have won the jazz category. That's my personal statement. What do you guys think? Are there any other dances that you guys were really brought to or anything like that?
Totally off topic. I know nothing about dance. You're a dance like sister, so you know a little bit. You guys danced. Based on what I saw on TikTok, I just want to give Kentucky a quick little shout out because their like ripple effect at the end of their dance, whatever it is, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What's it called? Is it called that?
Yeah, it's a ripple. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, they killed that.
And
It was
their
so good.
costumes, so cute.
Their costumes
Yes.
were good.
I was obsessed
Yeah.
with their costumes. Shout out the University of Kentucky.
I was very much a Minnesota girl.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, for palm, it was Ohio State all the way.
Yeah.
They were
Killed
on it.
They
And I
brought out
loved
the
it.
nunchuck palms, bro.
nunchuck
I was like,
that
this is
made me- I was like,
amazing.
oh my God.
That was amazing.
Crazy. I gasped the first time I saw it, and they brought out the freaking nunchucks.
No, they all of a sudden
Crazy.
they dropped, and I was like, "What am I watching?" I was sat for this.
Mm-hmm. And I just love Minnesota's jazz routine. I feel like I love jazz as a dancer, but contemporary and just how sentimental it was, especially because the seniors are leaving, and it just like I can't literally go a day without watching it now. It is so good.
Speaking of the Minnesota Jazz number, can we talk about, is it Ava Wagner was
yes.
highlighted in that? Let's talk about the Wagner sisters.
Oh my gosh.
The
last
the
time.
Kelseys of the dance world.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, Ellie Wagner goes to Ohio State and is on the Ohio State dance team. Ava's on the Minnesota dance team. So they're technically rivals, but this was their last year competing against each other because Ava is graduating?
Yes.
Ava's graduating. And
I saw a little video of them hugging backstage and like their costumes. It was like,
Oh, I saw that too, and it was so cute, especially after they had kind of done awards and stuff. They were also hugging. I also think it's really funny you said they're the Kelseys of dance because the colors are also similar.
they literally are.
So
Yeah, and the parents just supporting both of them is awesome. But I think it was a really, really great year of UDA. I'm so excited for next year, and I will continue to watch all the dances from literally the past 5 years. They were all amazing.
For all of you country music fans out there, Morgan Wallen just announced he will be touring with some big country stars alongside introducing a new album. The album is called I'm the Problem, and while he's on tour, he'll be performing with stars that are like big time stars. Usually he's just, I'm going to get on stage, drink a beer, perform with Hardy, and call it a day. This time around, he's going to bring on Miranda Lambert, Brooks and Dunn, Ella Langley, who's really been taking off lately, and Thomas Rhett. What are our thoughts?
I just really hope this new album is more on the country side than the pop side, because I feel like his last one was very pop. It was fun for summer and everything, but I like his country more. He has that like deep country accent into his music that's just natural, and I feel like it comes out so well whenever he's just being himself, his normal country self.
I agree. I think he should use that to his advantage. I really like his older songs. Now, don't get me wrong. I like everything Morgan Wallen. I'm a big Morgan Wallen fan.
Mm-hmm.
But his old stuff, like If I Knew, or If I Know Me, or
Yes,
Little Rain,
Fire.
like
Yep,
that whole
yep,
album
yep.
is so
The
good.
Way I
So-
Talk,
yes,
yep,
all of
mhm.
it.
Let me just add on to that. The name of the album is called I'm the Problem. Maybe he is the problem.
Is this a confession with Megan Maroney?
It
Like, what
might
are we
be a
doing?
little
What
bit
are
of
you
a
saying here?
confession. So we all know he got charged for throwing a chair off a roof in Nashville.
Not good press.
Not good press. He actually got sentenced to 7 days in incarceration and 2 years probation. That literally happened in December. I think this new album, it might be meaning something. He might be the problem. It's not the first time he's been in legal trouble either. I'm not really a big Morgan Wallen fan, but I did keep up with that because I was like, what do you mean he's in jail? What do you mean he has like a DUI? Like, it was crazy. So kind of seeing that he's going on tour, because technically he's on probation until 2026. So
I feel like that's a recurring thing with a lot of country artists going to
agree.
jail. We saw with Zach Bryan, but it's still close to my heart. My first like country music that I voluntarily listened to myself without my parents playing it for me, but I'm definitely excited.
Me too.
I'm definitely interested to kind of see. Hopefully we can stay out of legal trouble this time.
Staying on the topic of award shows, the Grammys are Sunday, February 2nd. I love listening to the music like world, so the Grammys are my personal favorite award show. And honestly, I was looking through the nominations, and I think everyone on there deserves an award. Like, every song that I read, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, they could win. Oh my gosh, yes, they deserve an award. With that being said, a couple categories really stuck out to me. So I'm going to read you guys a couple of the options, and then you guys let me know who you think is going to win, okay? Song of the Year, Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Good Luck Babe, Chappell Roan. Fortnite, Taylor Swift and Post Malone. Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. And A Bar Song by Shabuzi.
Shabuzi's winning. I'm telling you this now. He is. Like, this song was the song that was playing on the radio constantly, and anybody that's in the car was singing it. I personally just don't want Taylor Swift to win. Sorry.
I don't think she will win this category.
That's what I've heard.
I think it's going to go to Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan,
I
because
hope
that
it
is
does.
another song of the summer. I think if Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter was the one nominated, that would win. But the fact that it's Please, Please, Please is making me not think it's going to Sabrina.
I definitely agree. I would kind of like to see it go to Shabuzi. That was the song of the summer. Straight up, that was song of the summer.
It's still the song. It's
It
these
really
halftime
is.
performances. Your parents are into it. We're into it. I think I'll be
It's-
shocked if it's anyone else.
It's really good. And I think another like top contender is Die With a Smile. Don't get me wrong, like I love everybody else on this list. Die With a Smile, though, it was honestly really good. And I'm a huge Bruno Mars fan because I remember like clawing at my little iPod to Talking to the Moon, because I could really relate to that clearly at my young 8-year-old age. But like seeing him finally release a song again, and with Lady Gaga of all people.
He's really having a comeback. He released a song with Rosé, which went everywhere. I love his music. Yep. I'm loving him. I don't know if he'll win Song of the Year. I could see him winning collab if he's nominated for that.
He definitely is, because I know Die With a Smile has been definitely a top contender, but as much as I love Beyonce, I do not want Texas Hold'em winning. I do not like the album. I'm not a huge fan. Like, this ain't Texas. You're right. We're not in Texas.
I would love for Billie Eilish to win, but I don't think she will win in this category. I think she's a top contender for the album of the year.
Oh, definitely.
Love that album. Still listen to it. So we'll see. I mean, Shabuzi got it from me. He has my vote. So.
I will say, looking at the Song of the Year category versus Record of the Year category, which we'll get to later, I'm pretty sure Song of the Year is based on lyricism and Record is based on overall production. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's how they're determined. So looking at the lyricism of the songs, I'll be curious to see who does win that.
Moving on to Best Country Album, Whirlwind, Lainey Wilson, Higher, Chris Stapleton, Deeper Well, Casey Musgraves, F1 Trillion, Post Malone, and Cowboy Carter with Beyonce.
Not Cowboy Carter, I beg of you. I also did not know that Post Malone would be up for a country album.
Honestly, respect. Like, he's coming through in the country realm.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I really liked that song, honestly.
I love Lainey Wilson. Love her. I actually saw her with Morgan Wallen, his first tour, and she's just stuck with me. I love her. I love her vibe, and she just, she made it later in life, so her story's just awesome. But I love Chris Stapleton.
Me too.
Oh
I want
my
it to
gosh.
be him.
I know, me too. I think he really deserves that. I don't think there's a single song that comes out of his that I don't like or
I agree.
Isn't performed well.
As much as I want it to be Chris Stapleton, I do think it's going to be Beyonce with Cowboy Carter.
I feel like it's barely even country. Like,
she's walking a line of like pop country, and she's kind of, I don't know if she's trying to pull a Taylor Swift and do a genre switch or what. But
I think she needs to stay in her genre lane. Also, let's not sleep on Casey Musgraves. Maybe
I don't like her.
Really?
I'm a fan.
See, I'm not a country girl, so I like Casey because I feel like she's more of the pop country kind of realm. It's like a gateway into country music for me, so that's why I like her.
See, I like the more like Chris Stapleton, he's just like
you're
like
got that grew up in the South.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But Casey Musgraves, I don't like her voice very well or very much. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. She's great, but me personally, not my favorite.
Record of the Year, Fortnite, Taylor Swift and Post Malone. Good Luck Babe, Chappell Roan, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish, 360, Charlie XCX, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, Texas Hold'em, Beyonce, and Now and Then, The Beatles. What do we think?
The Beatles? Whoa, I didn't know they made a comeback.
Neither did I.
They had some sort of archived song, I'm pretty sure. I don't know the whole lore behind it, but
I was surprised to see them on here.
I'm still a little surprised to see them on here. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be kind of cool if they won. Just considering, like, their kind of past. So.
I feel like, I'm surprised Good Luck Babe is on there. I feel like Hot to Go.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be Hot to Go.
I mean, I love both of those songs, but I feel like, Hot to Go still played at sporting events.
It's
because they played them at the hockey game.
Or did it just blow up this year?
That's a good point.
I'm not positive. Anyways, I think Charlie XCX, I don't want her to win. 360, I think it could take it only because Record of the Year, it's about production. It's about how the song was made. She's got all the auto-tune. She's got all of the features. But maybe that'll hold her back because she's got so much going on.
I think Kendrick Lamar might step up just because he's the Super Bowl halftime performance, all of his issues with Drake. Everything he puts out gets so much attention that I think it'll help him.
I would love to see Not Like Us get something. It's like that brain rot and that itches the back of my head. I'm always singing Not Like Us, just walking around like, they not like us. It'd be kind of cool to see him like pull something through. So
personally, I want to see Espresso win it. She needs to win something with that song. That was the song. That was the song of the year, in my humble opinion. And some Sabrina Carpenter lore, for those of you who don't know. She has this thing where she's never had McDonald's a day in her life until she reaches a goal, and everyone believes that this goal is she will try McDonald's for the first time if she wins a Grammy. So we
Oh my
could
gosh,
be seeing
that's
Sabrina
funny.
Carpenter try McDonald's for the first time.
That would be awesome.
I'm really hoping for that. I also want to brush on album of the year really briefly. Taylor Swift, you guys know, biggest Swiftie alive. You know me. I believe, as much as I love the Tortured Poets album, I think this album's not going to win because she submitted Tortured Poets the first half of the album, because when she did the release, there's technically 2 albums. She released the Tortured Poets and then the anthology, and she submitted Tortured Poets, not the anthology. Personally, all my favorite songs from that record are on the second half of the album. The Prophecy, guys, come on. So I don't know how many awards she'll be winning this year, as much as I want to see her win.
I just think, like, I don't know. Give it to someone else. Like, we all know she's great. She's great.
She's
she
getting
just did
it
her whole
all.
tour. Like, she's awesome. Give it to, like, Chapel Roan, who's new and needs this to build her up. You know what I mean? And, I mean, I still think Billie Eilish should win Album of the Year. That's my humble opinion. But I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of Kendrick Lamar and They're Not Like Us, Drake has announced his little lawsuit that I know we are not surprised about. I was expecting this after the events of this summer. So his lawsuit is against the Universal Music Group for defamation and harassment over Kendrick Lamar's song Not Like Us. Drake claims that UMG's promotion of the song threatened his life and his career.
His life?
His life.
His life.
His career is fine. He will be
he's doing
fine.
Well.
He's Drake.
He'll be fine.
Guys, I'm a Drake fan.
Oh
Or Kendrick
my
Lamar, like I am. And I understand that like this might be a little bit unnecessary, but we talked about it, and we're in law and ethics journalism 333 together. Not that it matters, but we're in a class together, and we talk about it. And I think he has a solid point. But here's the thing. There's so many diss tracks. Like, let's go through his albums then and then talk about who he's dissing in all of his songs. You know what I mean? But I'd like to see him come out on top. I mean, it's only at the top, as he says.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, they went back and forth for so long, and then the world kind of just claimed that Kendrick Lamar won, and maybe he's just a little salty about it.
He might be a little butthurt.
With Not Like Us, do we blame him? The song was kind of fire.
Yeah, but moving on, Kendrick Lamar had his little teaser trailer for the Super Bowl, and SZA was in it. Yay! Guys, I'm a huge SZA fan, and I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan, so I can't wait to see it. The trailer was teased on Thursday of him walking on a football field before SZA walked up from behind and splashed him with water and like all this stuff. It was so much fun. I know everyone's just so excited because I was a little worried about this halftime show because he does have a lot of rap music and, you know, he can say provocative things. So in the Super Bowl halftime show is kind of where everyone can watch, whether or not you like football, watch football, know what's going on. The halftime show is just a way for you to be involved in the Super Bowl. So I think adding SZA to that is a great thing, and I can't wait to see what he does.
I'm definitely going to agree with that. I think having SZA is going to help since a lot of his music is very much PG-13, I would say. But I'm excited to see the both of them up there. It's been a hot second since we've been super pumped for a Super Bowl halftime show. Maybe it could be just me. Like some of the time I normally just watch the football because I always watch the football for the Super Bowl, but I'm very hit or miss with the halftime show. And Beyonce didn't like absolutely blow me out of the water for Christmas, so.
I remember when they announced Kendrick, and I was like, what is he gonna sing?
Mm-hmm.
Because to your point, you know, there's a lot he can't say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's gonna be a good balance, and I think it'll bring a different audience in too to make that halftime show like more rounded and family friendly.
Yeah, like I feel like when they picked Rihanna, still not over that. It was great because her music, I know my mom listened to her music when I was little, so it worked out. She catered to the older audience and the younger audience. So I'm just excited to see what they do. And I feel like this trailer really gave everybody a little bit of a tease. So we'll see.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, we have another Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs matchup. We had one 2 years ago. It was the Kelsey brothers. It was the whole shebang. Now, Marissa, I know that you're a big Taylor Swift fan. I know you are.
What can I say?
And I've mentioned this before on the podcast. I listen to Taylor Swift, okay? That's not the problem. But she is taking it to a whole new level. And it's not intentional on her end. It's the media. It's not her.
Right.
I'm not hating on her.
You'd go support your boyfriend at his football game, too.
I would. I'd be there. I'd do the same thing that she is. That's what I'm saying. It's not her fault. But it's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest day of football or the NFL football in the year. Please do not make it about Taylor Swift. There are so many people not rooting for the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift and other reasons, obviously, that we don't need to get into.
I will get into them. I don't want the Chiefs to win.
Yeah.
I think they need a break. Honestly, I'm a little mad that it's the Chiefs and the Eagles once again. I watched that game. The Chiefs they are very lucky that they're going. So, you know.
Speaking of, little question for you guys. Jason Kelsey's obviously retired, and I'm sure it's great for his body that he's retired and he's doing well. You know, he's got his own segment on shows and stuff like that. He has a podcast. He does very well as a retired professional athlete. Do you think if he had been able to predict the future and know that it would be an Eagles-Chiefs matchup again, he would have played one more year?
I like him much more than his brother.
Oh, me too.
Me too.
Oh,
I like
Travis
him
Kelce. Oh my God. I can't. I can't do it. It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. Everything about him makes me so mad.
I will
makes
say
me so mad.
His Viva Las Vegas moment, it was a little much. Going back to Taylor Swift with that whole thing too, as much as I love her and like I'm gonna love seeing her on my screen, I do agree with this sense of you don't need a Taylor Swift cam at the Super Bowl like they did.
And they have one. That's the part that, like, they have a cameraman that's, like, locate Taylor Swift.
Well, I'm saying the Steelers quarterback is married to Sierra, and we don't see her all over the TV and the camera. So there's other athletes that are married to
Simone Biles and Jonathan
Biles,
Owens.
Exactly.
Livy Dunn's dating Paul Skeens. I mean, you don't see it. That's what I'm saying. It is a Taylor Swift thing, and I understand she's like that girl.
She's that girl.
Like, it's a very big thing. Like, I get it, but at a certain point, like, unless she's gonna all of a sudden throw a touchdown, just let it go. She's a fan.
Dancing with the Stars, their tour. So they were supposed to start their tour on January 7th. They didn't. It was supposed to start in Richmond, Virginia, which I'm from Virginia. So when I heard about the water warning they had put out, I was a little skeptical. They did end up canceling it, but they redeemed themselves. They ended up being back in business. They are on their tour. They are, TBH, eating it up. I've seen the clips. Big Ezra Sosa fan over here, excuse me. Let's talk about their TikTok trend. Have we seen it?
I've seen it, and I think it's a great marketing PR stunt. Like, phenomenal job because the show's over. People aren't as invested people are invested in the tour, but like it's not coming on your TV. You know what I mean? And so I think it's honestly a great idea on their part to use TikTok to their advantage.
Absolutely.
Their social media team within the past 2 years has transformed. Ever since Riley Arnold joined the cast, I really feel like they've stepped it up. They've gained a younger audience, and it's everywhere. I mean, I didn't even start watching till last season, and I became hooked.
See, that's interesting because I grew up on it. It was a show that my mom watched, and like I'd come in from practice, and it would always be on the TV. And then when I got older, I was like, I'm not watching it. And now, to your point, they've drawn in our generation a lot more.
It's honestly so good. I've just recently started watching it because I absolutely adore it. But for those of you who don't know, the Dancing with the Stars cast, the ones that are on tour, of course, they have started this TikTok trend where it's more of like a TikTok dance. A lot of people have done it. It's mainly them kind of like dancing up against a wall. Take that at your own will, how you will. But basically, they are all kind of posting it to see who wins, who gets the most views, who gets the most likes. I'm 95% sure Jenna Johnson is in the lead right now.
Really?
That is the rumor, and it's mainly because all these girls are like, I can't watch everybody else. They are all married. Like Brandon Armstrong, his wife was in the comments.
Jenna's married. Jenna's married to Val.
But it's women.
Oh, right.
It's the women being
I
like,
see,
I
I see.
can't steal your man kind of thing. They were like, oh, Jenna, thank you so much for posting
queen.
this because I can't be staring at your husband or something. But Gleb and Brendan, oh my gosh,
Oh, glad.
it was a video. Yes, I absolutely love them. Pasha did it a couple times, and he blew it out of the water. Of course, they're dancers, but kind of seeing them do a TikTok trend and competing with each other, seeing them just make TikToks in general together, I'm all for it. But I don't know. Do we all have an idea who might win it by any chance?
Has Joey Grosseday done it? Because if Joey does it,
I wish. If he had done it, it would have been hands down. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Everyone
what a
would have
lucky
been
lady.
all over that.
my king.
Absolutely. Time for everybody's favorite segment. It's the hot takes. Lauren, want to start us off?
I'm going to start us off with keeping on the Joey trend from Dancing with the Stars. Joey and Kelsey are the best couple from The Bachelor.
100% agree. I've been a member of Bachelor Nation for years now. I haven't seen a couple like them before. Like, they're just so cute, and Kelsey's so secure.
I was just going to say that she's so secure in her relationship online, like on TikTok especially. She's like, yep, I know he's hot. I know everyone loves him. Like, I don't care.
I follow a Bachelor Data account, and he had the most kisses in the first episode of any Bachelor, and she commented on that post and said, "Oh, my little overachiever." Like, she's just so funny about it. And all the girls just from his season recently met up and made it slideshow night, and she had a slideshow of all the other women. It was so funny.
That is so funny.
That's
I
funny.
love them.
Well, I'll go next. My hot take is that reality TV is good TV. I love reality TV. Grew up watching all the Real Housewives with my mom, the Kardashians, The Bachelor, all of it. And it's like a comfort show to me. Like the Real Housewives of New Jersey, like Teresa Giudice and all of them, like I just love them. And the Kardashians, new season's coming out next week, so I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Hot take, not a fan. It's fine. I grew up, Lauren, don't look at me like that. I grew up kind of watching like Dance Moms, but that was, occasionally like Say Yes to the Dress, if you consider that kind of a reality TV thing. Not as much, but I've just never really been a fan because sometimes it is so scripted, you can tell, which it's a TV show. It's going to be scripted. Whether you're watching the news or a series show, it is going to be scripted. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's so blatantly obvious. And it honestly bothers me a little bit, but
me being my Dance Mom's girl from Pittsburgh and seeing it recorded live multiple times, it is very, this is what it's going to be, and that's it. And it is very scripted, but it's so entertaining. Like, oh my gosh, there's nothing like it. It's just a comfort,
I'll definitely agree with you on that. It's good. I just wish maybe it was a little more authentic. If it were, I'd probably be like super into it, because if you're gonna be an actor, just be an actor. Don't like throw it under, it's like we're going into someone's real life. Like, is it their real life?
Everybody just needs to go watch Bravo. That's
that's the moral of the story.
That's the best reality TV.
So I'm gonna go next. My hot take: I don't really care about the Super Bowl. Hear me out. I'm not a big sports girl.
Clearly.
Like, I'll have it all, be there, I'll be watching. I used to only watch for the ads because obviously they've been lacking in recent years. They haven't been as good. And an advertiser girl myself, I'm like, what's going on, guys? And so I don't really care for it. Like, I'll watch it, but
honestly, props to you to find something that interests you, whether it's the commercials and not the actual football game. Like, good for you. That's because it is one of those things where, like, everybody's watching it. Like, you probably have a party at your house. You're having people over, like, things like that. So, way to find a way to stay entertained. But with the advertising end of it, like, companies spend so much money on those commercials. Like, that first commercial is always, like, who's going to get it and how much did they spend? I don't know much about advertising, but as I've grown up, I've always loved it for the football, but I hate commercials, so I have to find a way to, like, stay entertained.
I'm definitely going to be into the commercials in the halftime show more this year because
we hate the Chiefs.
Because we don't like the teams playing. But, yeah.
That is so valid. I mean, if I'm going to watch, hopefully it's for an Eagles win. I'd really like to see someone that's not the Chiefs win.
I'm just gonna keep my Pittsburgh thoughts to myself
Thank you.
today.
You really want it to be the Chiefs over the Eagles?
I just want the Super Bowl to not be a thing and have a redo and the
Run it back.
Steelers
Run it
it
back.
back. Steelers. Okay, I'm done. I
Libby
can't.
reposted a TikTok about how the Steelers haven't been in the playoffs in 8 years, and I laughed out loud. Anyway,
She has a point.
I'm still dreaming. It'll happen one day.
One day.
that was me. And I mean, we lost, but like we got there. We got there.
Close.
So close,
Go
but yet
Lions.
so far.
Anyways,
Okay. It's up to me, I suppose. So my hot take is that Amelia Perez is not that worthy of awards. I do not care how beautifully the story is told. It is not that good.
I think compared to Wicked, because I feel like it's been compared a lot, Wicked had, again, they sing live. Literally live.
And this is AI singing.
Amelia
Might I
Perez
decide it?
is AI singing. They did confirm that, and I was shook. It's not a term you hear me use very often, but I was shaking in my boots thinking that's what beat Wicked.
It's just like we sit in our classrooms all day talking about AI and how it's like ruining school and people are cheating. Why do we need to use it for a movie? Like, be
Exactly.
creative and use your brain. Like, if you like, just don't use it. I don't understand. Like, if you're not creative enough, don't make a movie. Period. I don't know. It's dumb.
Amen to that.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
be sure to check out our website at kykernel.com.
And follow us on all social media platforms. That's X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify.
Thanks for listening to Pop Goes the Kernel. See y'all next time.
Pop Goes the Kernel is produced by Gianna Gallo, featuring Libby Heckert, Marissa Armstrong, Gabby Mercedes, and Lauren Smiley. Edited by Jackson LaCroix.